the official fan app for truck and tractor pulling. Sign up, pick winners, win cash. It's that easy. Fullpull.us.
GMS Manufacturing and Machine. Helping you build a superior foundation with top quality parts and service. Give Brent a call today.
Heavy diesel rebuilds and machine work is High Plains Performance's specialty. Their team of qualified and experienced professionals are at the top of their industry. Contact Doug for a quote today.
Contact Corsa today and ask about their pullers packages that give you all the information you need to know about your engine.
Lincoln Diesel Specialties offers high-quality diesel performance products and services for various models of trucks. Check them out online.
The Pullers Championship is presented by a team of people with a commitment to the sport of pulling and a need to give back to the sport they love. The Pullers Championship was not created to be exceptional. It was created to be the exception. Extreme Performance and Tire Cutting in Rock Valley, Iowa gives their customers the most competitive edge possible. Be supreme. Buy Extreme.
Get top-quality truck parts, as well as expert application information about tractor pulling and clutch assembly, from our professionals in Waynesburg, Kentucky. Call Kenny's today.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is the largest of 3 sanctioned national pulling associations with 16 classes and more than 350 competing vehicles streamed on outlawpulling.tv.
Today.
Let's talk about today.
If you're at a national and state level, you have to run non-sale, it's wholesale.
Is 9,000.
The only mistake I made, I didn't put it in the registration book with the number. Just this ever-evolving story.
Welcome back to Let's Grow Pullin'. I'm your host, Logan Stevens, joined by the one and only Jason Bittinger. Jason,
what's going on?
How's it going this week? It's been a long week. Haven't really got a chance to talk to a whole bunch of guys. What's new in your world?
Well, we just been busy prepping for Fort Wayne. There's been so much going on with all that we've been kind of slamming that whole situation out.
It definitely seems like there's a whole bunch getting ready to kick off. We'll talk about that here a little bit later this evening, around 7:40 to 8 o'clock. But until then, we're going to bring on Mark Craig and Aaron Lewis. Tell us a little bit about pull going on down in Des Moines, Illinois, called the Heartland Truck and Tractor Showdown. And then J.R. Rouse with Full Pull Monster Trucks, along with Thomas Borders, to tell us a little bit about what goes on or what goes into putting a monster truck show on top of a tractor pulling show. So that'll be very cool to see what goes on there. And then we'll round it out talking with Russ Yoder and Chad Mayhill on the pull getting ready to happen here in just a few short days, kicking off Friday and Saturday night. So another very busy podcast here tonight. So I guess there's only one way to get her kicked off, and let's bring on Aaron Lewis and Mark Craig.
Let's get them.
How's it going, boys?
Going good.
I know we were talking there a little bit before the show when we were in makeup, and you get so busy in life that you don't realize who some of your old friends are. So bringing Aaron on from WW Promotions and Mark Craig. You want to remind me again who you're with in the Southern Illinois area?
I think he's talking to you, Mark. I'm not sure if Mark can hear us.
Can Mark hear us?
Mark's just sleeping. So, Aaron, tell us a little bit about what you got coming up here in DeCoin, Illinois.
Well, we're going to put on a truck pull there in DeCoin with SITA's group and the WW group together, bringing trucks in from at least 6
I have no
states.
sound on my end, guys.
About time you got woke up.
Right.
Anyway,
Mark,
make a long
can you not
story
hear
short.
us?
I think
There
he's
you go.
behind time.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll
He'll
kick him out
reset.
for a second.
he'll get
So-
back in.
Go on, Aaron.
Anyway, we're bringing in at least 6 states together to put on a truck pool there in DeCoin, Illinois, with the 2 groups, and basically it's just going to be fun for everybody. You know, we're going to try to join all the rules together to match the best that we can. Naturally, there's going to be different associations with different rules.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I can't hear you, so I'm blind here.
Well, he ain't much help to us tonight. But basically, we're going to try to just join everything together from Ohio down to Georgia, Florida, Kentucky, Arkansas, Carolina. No, not Carolina's Dakota. Lots of different states, but we're going to try to just put everybody together and just see how it all shakes out with the most common, smaller classes.
Yep. So let's look at your banner here and let's talk a little bit about what classes we're going to see.
Okay.
Pull her up here. So let's talk about what we got going here in DeCoin, Illinois.
So basically, all of those classes we run year round on WW and or on SITA. So the big block, modified, stock, WW, super street, and hot stock all join together. So SITA's hot street and WW's hot street naturally is joined together. Self-explanatory. The WW two-wheel drive stuff is all joined together with that. That's the class that's going to be the most interesting. The deal.
Yes.
Different rules, but we have come up with a compromise, kind of put everybody together, and you pull together down there. So I think we have a good compromise on how to put everything together. Now, this will be the first event with the 4,300-pound mini trucks. We're looking forward to that class being with us this year.
That's always a fun class.
That's kind of it's a fun class. It's, you know, it kind of brings 3 more states together: Kentucky, Tennessee, and Missouri. So that's going to be interesting. You know, we'll have some stuff to iron out there. The small block super stocks, that's a class that we run year round, so they're kind of WW rules. Then the Pro Street is, you know, that's Southern Missouri and WW, pretty much with some mid-mo stuff in it, but all the same rules. That's kind of a nationwide rules class. And that super stock four-wheel drive and the pro stock four-wheel drive, that's going to be the interesting one, because you have Missouri's pro stock four-wheel drive rules, which is our WW rules. And then you have the Illinois truck rules, which is totally different. But last year it worked out. We had 1 Illinois truck win and 1 Missouri truck win. So I think we've got a kind of a compromise on that class.
So,
and then we have vintage tractor class with the V8s, which is always a fun class to watch.
Chris wants to know here, what is WW Promotions?
WW Promotions is now an association. It was an organization that we have been running for about 5 years, but we have this year swapped it over to an association, same as any other where in the world. Me and Dave Gilbert started WW 5 years ago, roughly, and brought it to what it is today, which is it's a 200 member organization. Quite a few pullers in that group, but it's the same as any other, like SITA or Midmo or MFPPA or anybody else. We just promote truck pulling. We do have our own sleds, but we promote truck pulling throughout the nation.
What's kind of your geographical location in the United States?
We're actually from northern Arkansas. We pull everywhere from central Missouri south across the state. From about Jeff City Heights down is where we're at.
So I take it Mark can hear us now.
Yes, I can hear you now.
That's a lot better. We like you to be able to hear us. Mark, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are, what you do.
Well, I got interested about 8 years ago in truck pulling or tractor pulling, and we ended up buying a 2-wheel drive truck, and we got set up and we enjoy it. I have a son that started pulling when he was 15, kind of helped bond me and him together. And I got to know Aaron over the years, become good friends with him. We've met in Kentucky, we've met in Florida, and I just enjoy pulling. I enjoy going and meeting different people and seeing different things.
Yeah, that's super cool. So what really sparked the idea to get an indoor pull going and then combining these two groups together?
Well, I think you look at the big picture, and there's always an indoor pull somewhere, whether it's NTPA or one of the other big leagues, and it's all the big trucks and name tractors. And I wanted something for the small guy that hooks at the county fair to be able to pull indoors and have that feeling, because it is a totally different feeling pulling inside a building versus out in the open air at your local county fair. That's my thoughts.
For sure.
So when did you guys start preparing for this event, and what has it taken to get to here we are now? I mean, you guys are pulling here in just about 4 days. So how do we get to where we are?
Well, it really started 2 years ago for the DeCoin, Illinois pull. We started this, joined with another group last year, and then we decided just to do a truck thing this year off of that spin out last year. So really, we've been working on this pull for 2 years, wouldn't you think, Mark?
Yes.
It's been a long time.
It's some planning.
And this is a learning experience for both organizations to work together and put this caliber of pull on, and we hope in future years we can make it bigger and better with input from pullers and other people to make this a annual event that maybe everybody wants to come and try to pull at it.
Yeah, that's super cool. Seeing that we're only a couple days away from the event now, what's kind of left to do for the event?
Well, we got some
really
equipment
not
to
a
move
whole
in.
lot is left except the work.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do we got dirt in the building? Where are we setting?
Yes, the dirt's in the building. The building we're going to use at DeCoin has dirt in it year round. If they're not pulling in it, they're racing cars inside. They set it up on a circle track, and they do demo derbies and other sports in there. So it's a very nice facility, and it's in a very nice location.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool, having a facility where you can just go in there and do something like that.
Yep.
Talking about the facility, this year is going to be a little different than last year. We're going to turn around and pull it the opposite way to a pile instead of out the chutes for safety reasons. But it's also going to gain us some length, wouldn't you think, Mark? We should be around 260 foot this year.
Yes.
Which is a whole lot better than 225 that we was last year.
Yes. Yep.
Are you guys pulling all the classes on both nights?
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet.
So tell us, take the promoter hat off and look at it from a fan's perspective. What do the fans need to know for this event coming up?
Well, that's one thing that we want to talk about. This year, we're going to do things a little bit different. We're only going to allow a puller and one on the floor. The rest of everybody is going to have to go to the grandstands this year. Our insurance is not going to allow us to have the crowds that we had last year on the floor. So somebody comes through, they need to understand that we're not picking on one group or one person, but we're only going to allow the puller and one to be on the floor at a time due to safety reasons.
I was going to say, and actually, I mean, a majority of the indoor pools do something like that. It's not like it's out of the ordinary to do something like that. I've seen that at several events.
I just wanted to make that really clear that everybody understands, because we've been laxed about it, but this year we can't be. There's just too many people already signed up. It's just going to be a lot bigger show, and we don't want no accidents.
Yeah. So I guess speaking about the facility too, and having people down on the floor, what does the pit situation look like there? Are you going to park everybody inside, or what does it look like?
We're not going to be able to park everybody inside as a whole, but we will be able to park most everybody inside at night. But during the day, we will have to pull some stuff out to be able to put the show on, you know. But for the most part, everybody will be able to park in the dry. In the pits is really good. It's all gravel parking. Everything is really wide open. So no chances of getting stuck or nothing like that in bad weather. You know,
well, that's always a plus.
Really clear facility.
Yeah, for sure.
How many vehicles are you looking to have here?
Well, we're hoping for 1 million, but right now we've got about
Speak for yourself.
60 hooks pre-registered is what we've got.
50?
No, 60 pre-registered. 60? But pre-registered and being what's there, we're hoping is a big difference. Naturally, we want to try to get everybody to pre-register that can, because it makes it much easier on the girls in the office, and it helps us get started on time. You know, so I push for any puller that wants to be there to get signed in early. You do not have to pay till the day of. We don't want your money. We don't want any of that. Just give us your information where we can get you in a list and get these classes drew. You can go to the Facebook page. You can go to WW Promotions Facebook page. It's real easy to sign up.
Hear that we're running a little short on time with stuff. What are some things that are kind of must know about the event from the puller side and the fan side? What do you got to know?
So one big thing I want to address online where every puller can hear it and see it. It is mandatory we run a secondary hitch inside. I know there's a lot of drama on Facebook, people complaining about having to run the secondary hitch, but think of it this way. If your hitch don't break, your buddy's hitch does break and hurt somebody, we are responsible for that. We will be mandatory a secondary hitch, and it is no problem to put on these trucks. So anybody that's not willing to do that, I'm sorry that you don't want to participate, but that is going to be a mandatory thing at this event.
Well, and once again, I want to throw that out there. That's not something that's out of the ordinary at an indoor event. I mean, that's just about anywhere you go, it's going to be that way.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I pull all over the United States, always have for 20-some years. I've seen this go hundreds of times. The trouble is we're introducing indoor pulling to people that is not used to that, and that's why it's got to be known that it's so clear. You know, when you get into the pro stock world where you pull inside, you understand that because it's a mandatory thing everywhere. But when you get these trucks that we're pushing for that's out of the county fairs, they have to be able to step up to that game as the same to keep the safety limited. And we want to protect our crowds. We want to protect our participants. We want to be able to keep doing this. And that is just a must have to do thing.
Yep. Well, that's agreed. You know, it makes sense.
Well, safety has to be the number one thing in all this. We don't want no one hurt, and we don't want something to happen to any of the pulling vehicles either. And that's our number one goal with this.
And we want this to be a fun event. I mean, we don't want no kind of problems. You know, it takes all the fun out of it when something happens, you know.
Right. Exactly.
That's just what we're going to have to do.
Yeah, that safety's always been a big part of just making sure events run smoothly. Anything else that's on the top of your list of what we got to know, or who you got to thank to help this getting going?
As far as the fans go, the only thing, now Mark may correct me here, I sometimes talk out of turn, but it's $10 to come in each day, and kids 8 and under are free.
Yes.
But like I said, there's no pit passes or nothing like that. So it's 10 and free. You got
Right.
those two.
Yeah. So your ticket is your pit pass.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Well,
Mark,
that's super cool.
You got some sponsors that you need to announce on here, Mark?
Well, we've got a few big sponsors. Southern FS is one of them. Almond Auctions out of Nokomis is another one. We've got some smaller organizations, Beck Seed, Weifel Seed. Off the top of my head, there's my company, MNT Trucking, is going to sponsor a little bit. We've got. I'm trying to think through the list. That's our big major sponsors, but we're putting the sponsor money. We're paying 100% payout of all the entry fee money, plus $250 added money to each class each night. So we've raised some money to be able to do this, to get a little bit of money to give away as prize money.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome with that. So big event. For those that don't usually get a pull there indoors, happening this weekend there in DuQuoin, Illinois. I appreciate you guys coming on, telling us a little bit about your event, and best of luck here this weekend. And hopefully we get to see some good things that come out of this event.
Thank you.
We appreciate what you guys do for us.
Yes, we do.
Hey, thank you, buddy. Appreciate y'all.
Well, there you go. Aaron Lewis and Mark Craig, WW Promotions and Central Illinois Truck and Tractor Pulling, I believe is what the other one was. Bringing us a little bit of info about their event. Here we're going to change sports, so to speak, staying in the motorsports realm, but we're going to jump over to some monster truck stuff. And this is kind of going to be a little bit of our segue into our Russ Yoder Fort Wayne tractor pull. What are they calling that? The Yoder Popcorn Nationals?
Something like that. Yeah. Invitational, maybe? Yeah.
I like the way that sounds. So let's bring on
Mechanical Mayhem. It's Mechanical Mayhem.
Thomas, how's it going?
How you guys doing? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
We're hanging in there.
We're doing pretty darn good.
Too.
Living someone's dream.
That's what I say all the time. We're somebody's nightmare. I haven't figured it out yet.
Right. Nightmares are dreams too, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's awesome. So tell us who Thomas is, what Thomas does, and what you're getting ready to do here this weekend.
So I'm the owner of the Monkey Business Motorsports. I got 2 monster trucks competing this weekend up in Fort Wayne. We got the Monkey Business, which we're debuting a brand new body. It's a 3D concept body that we just came up with over the winter. So nobody's got to see it yet. We got a few little teasers. And then my daughter, she's 19. She's going to be driving my other truck, Clumsy Monkey. So she's usually a crowd favorite. They really enjoy seeing her go out there and kick some butt against some of these older guys.
Nice. I believe we've got that video, actually. We've got the Monkey Business promo video, I believe.
Yeah, there's been a couple stuck out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're real excited to debut this new look. I mean, it's been something we wanted to do last year, just didn't have time. Last year was our 10th anniversary. Just ran out of time before the season. So we kind of put it on the back burner, and my crew guy, Damon, he really pushed hard this past fall to get me to get it back out of the trailer and get back on it. So, you know, we busted butt, spent about 4 months getting it done. Took it over to some friends of ours, Chris Keys, Caleb Keys. They did a mold for us, pulled the body off, and it turned out amazing. Had a great artist come in, do all the paint job on it, flip. He did awesome. It's all done by Rattle Can. and you wouldn't believe it's rattle can. This thing just looks amazing.
No kidding.
That's awesome. Well, Jason, roll the clip there if you want, and we will talk a little bit about what actually goes into the sport of monster truck.
Cool. I got you.
So the name actually was my boy's truck. We had a racetrack. We did some powerwood stuff, and my boy had one that was four-wheel drive, four-wheel steer. The name of his truck was Monkey Business. Well, my boy, he was just always bouncing off the walls, hanging, climbing. You'd see him up in the tree. I mean, he'd jumping on his bed, and we always said he was a monkey. Some people probably understand our story. He passed away from brain cancer. When we built the truck, I told Dad that truck's going to be called Monkey Business. And, that's just a reminder of where we came from and where we're going.
What a story behind the name of that. That's truly special. I didn't realize that is really what's behind it. That's really special.
Yeah, like I said, we started this about 10 years ago. This part of our monster truck journey. I've been involved in monster trucks ever since I was born. My dad had a truck back in the 90s. Got out for a little bit, and then we started this. And yeah, as soon as we started, we knew we had to name it Monkey Business, and we just keep growing from there. And about every truck we do, we usually try to keep some kind of monkey theme with them. Like I said, the daughter, her first truck was Funky Monkey. Then this year was Clumsy Monkey. So we got another one that on the back burner we're going to try to come out with this summer, and we're still trying to decide what the name's going to be of that one.
So I caught there you're bringing two trucks to compete in your monster truck competition. What goes in on the competition aspect of competing in a monster truck show?
So monster truck shows really, we're not really competing for prize money. So it's mostly for bragging rights. They come out, we'll do a wheelie contest. The fans get to cheer, decide who's going to win the wheelie contest. And then, that's mainly just for bragging rights. Then we come out for racing. And I tell you what, on the full throttle circuit, racing, nobody lifts for anybody. It's every man, woman for themselves. I don't even lift when my daughter's in the lane beside me. It's wide open till you get to the end. So, like I said, we don't win nothing, but you want that bragging right. And then same thing for freestyle. We come back out, we do a freestyle run at the end. That's where you get to run for as long as you want, as hard as you want. And, the fans are the true winners when it comes to the monster truck sport. So they get to cheer, decide who's the winner of the freestyle. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But like I said, it's all for the fans.
So what can we expect to see this weekend in Fort Wayne?
Well, hopefully we keep sunny side up. I don't want to destroy that new body just yet, but this weekend we're going to do something pretty about the basic setup there. We're going to do the wheelie contest. We got the side-by-side racing. I think we're doing side-by-side drag racing. I'm not for sure. JR will know more of that. And but then we'll come back out with freestyle. And I've already told JR, I said I want a big jump. I want to air this thing out. I put brand new shocks on the truck here about a couple weeks ago. And I really want to feel them and see how they do. So I want to see how high I can get that monkey flying and see monkeys fly.
That's too funny. So I know there's many, many kids out in the crowd wanting to, or just watching and saying, I want to do that one day. Well, say when they get into their teenage years, what's it take to put together a monster truck and go and compete on your local level with different groups?
It's been a lot of work. I started out with one truck. We built the second truck. We built a third truck. We built a ride truck in there. I got the old school orange crate back here. But, it's really just talking to the drivers, find out what works, what doesn't. Look at all the different chassis designs. You see on TV, a lot of them are kind of the cookie cutter trucks. You can pretty much call up, order the chassis, order all the parts. But, we build everything in-house. So we found a chassis that works. Get your geometry right, find your parts. Parts is the biggest thing in the sport. You got to you got to have tons of parts. So you want to find all your parts and just build a good truck and talk to the people. Get out there and talk to the drivers, talk to the fans, and find out what they want to see.
That's too funny. I see Jasmine down here already doing some smack talking on you not lifting, and her definitely have beaten you before. So yeah, I guess we'll see for bragging rights what goes on.
She has beat me. Yes, yeah. I mean, she's beat me. I beat her, and like I said, I told her before. I said, when we line up on the line, you don't lift, I'm not going to lift, and may the best person win.
That's funny. How many trucks are we going to see here this weekend?
I think there's going to be 6 there at Fort Wayne. I think I got 2. We got Bigfoot coming in. They got a brand new paint job on that truck. Beautiful looking truck. Can't wait to see it. We got Stomper. I think we got Metal Monster coming in, and I want to say Country Strong is going to be another one. Plus, I think there's 2 ride trucks, so kids can come along and take a ride in a ride truck. There's a small fee for that, usually cash only, but they can come out, take a ride, and tell all their fans they've rode in a real monster truck.
Awesome.
I see we finally rounded up JR here. JR, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Oh
no.
Party foul.
His mic's muted.
His mic's muted.
Nobody wants to hear him anyways.
He's trying to figure it out.
Nobody said he was the nobody said he was the guy that took care of all the sound system. That was me for all them years. I actually started out as the announcer for Full Throttle
really?
Monster trucks. Yeah,
well, he was having trouble getting in.
Do we have anything now?
There it is.
Yeah, there we go.
I had to turn off the dang truck. Sorry, fellas.
Well, how are you?
So tell us what you do, who you are, and what we're going to see here.
I'm J.R. Rouse. Fort Wayne for the last few years here, and we've had a lot of success, a lot of fun. We'll have 3 competitions this weekend: racing, freestyle, and trick competition, and should have quite a good crowd coming out.
So what goes into putting a monster truck event on?
A lot of phone calls.
Right.
No, basically, there's a lot of setup with coming up with obstacles. That's one of the big things. Everywhere we go, a lot of different tracks. Going indoors, present some different restraints. You know, you can't, you don't quite have the safety that you have at a lot of racetracks or some of the other fairgrounds. So we kind of have to reel the drivers back just a little bit. Can't quite do what they do like in Lucas Oil Stadium. And it's just kind of making sure we have a good but safe show for everyone to enjoy.
Well, and then you go on top of that and add another layer onto it with bringing the tractor pulling guys in. How has that gone with integrating and meshing 2 events together?
It's went pretty well. It's kind of unique. The building there at Fort Wayne, it unfortunately had some very bad promoters in the past and kind of has hurt some of the motorsports in the area. We went a long way to try to help rebuild that. One of the fellas, Travis Hostetler, he'd been working on me for several months about, the mech was going away and they needed something. So we actually had a demolition derby with this last year that was pretty successful. But with some of the building upgrades, we need to look for something a little bit different for this year. So it kind of made sense to, hey, let's try to help these guys out, bring them in, show that they can do a very good show. And then I grew up in the era where truck and tractor pulling, they were together. It's kind of hard to do them together these days, but there's a lot of elements that carry over between the 2. And I think the crew has done an excellent job working together so far to get this set up. we know going into the weekend there's going to be a couple bumps in the road. This is the first time we've worked with everybody. In my opinion, it's a very large pull coming in with close to 60 hooks.
Yeah.
That I feel like the track crew is going to be very good to move them right through, but there's definitely some elements of that it's going to be a little tricky. And, I've been working with Travis a lot on exactly how we're going to build the track. And we're going to try to be as mindful as we can to keep a good pulling surface, but to also give as much transition in between the two events. I want the monster truck fans to show up and see a monster truck show. I want the pulling fans to show up and see a tractor pull. I don't really want the tractor pull guys to be going, why are we dodging cars and stuff? That's not what it's about. We need to make sure we got two very professional shows with Russ and Mike and Travis. I feel very confident this is gonna be a very good weekend.
Yeah. Speaking of that, though, and speaking of the track, what's the layout look like? What obstacles are we going to be seeing? Is there, what do you got planned for us?
Do we get a nice little big jump in the middle of our pulling track?
I told him
Russ
I wanted
asked
the
me
big
to
jump.
do that. His tractor was having some trouble, so he was wanting something a little more unique to maybe make sure he was good. No. We may have a couple good sized hills, but they'll be off the track. Our racing, it's one of the things when you go to these buildings, racing kind of becomes a little bit more than freestyle. And the 6 guys that I got coming in, my goodness, I am so thankful we're going to have instant replay this year, because the last 2 years we've been using cell phones trying to figure out who's going to win. And you get Thomas and Roger running against each other, and it's like pulling your hair out to figure out who actually won the race. And then no matter who we call as the winner, as soon as we get back there, I won that race. Here's the video. So this year we're going to have a big screen to be able to say, no complaining, here it is. So
here's the photo finish.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris wants to know a little bit more info about the Bigfoot truck coming in. Who's driving it? I'm curious, which number of Bigfoot are they on now? I got the opportunity to tour their shop whenever I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Okay. Well, their shop now is in Pacific, Missouri.
Yep.
So, and when I was there Saturday, and I believe Bigfoot 25 has just been delivered. It's either 24 or 25. And I know the next 2 are being built. So we will have, I believe it's 18 with us. Roger Gallagher's the driver. Last year, it had the 50th paint scheme that had the lightning bolt design. The body for this event is going to be kind of a throwback to Bigfoot 1 with the way that it looks. Very sleek looking body. Pretty excited for it to come out.
Yeah, that's super cool seeing how it's just developed over the years from Bigfoot 1 all the way to now being 25. I mean, what a legacy that these guys have developed.
Absolutely. And they are some of the absolute nicest people to work with. We're blessed. We've worked hand in hand with them for the last 3 years. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is almost all of the Bigfoot monster trucks are tied up with the Hot Wheels tours. There's several different ones. Plus, they have 6 trucks right now that are overseas, and they haven't been back to the United States in 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So everyone's always like, well, where in the world are all these trucks? Well, they're actually tied up. They may not all have a Bigfoot body on them. Some of them may have, a fire truck or a Rhino Mite body, but they're tied up with the Hot Wheels tour. And right now we're lucky enough to have the only basically county fair truck that can travel around the United States. So we take a lot of pride in that.
That's super cool. Well, while we get kind of finished up here, Give us a couple things that we need to know or look forward to of what to expect at a monster truck event for some of these Poland fans that may not have been to one.
Well, obviously the kids are always a huge factor in the show. The number one thing this weekend that's going to be absolutely cool is this truck that Thomas is getting ready to bring out. I did get a sneak peek of that over the weekend, and it is a very, very impressive piece. At Fort Wayne, there is nothing better than the racing. The racing is just like Jamboree, Thunder Drags, all out craziness. You will definitely be impressed with the racing at this event.
That's super cool.
That's going to be fun.
What are you most looking forward to real quick?
I'm looking forward to seeing Bigfoot in my rearview mirror at the finish in the finals. That's what I'm looking forward to.
There we go. Yeah.
I mean, it's usually me and Bigfoot in the finals every round, and I'm going to do my best to put him back there behind me because I'm not going to give him an inch, and he's got too big of a head the way it is, so I'm going to knock him down a few notches here this weekend.
I love the smack
He did have to buy a new helmet over the winter after his eighth championship with us.
Yeah. So I'm going to take him down a few notches. You know, we got this new big bad motor in this truck, and I'm going to put all 1,500 horses to the ground and just smoke him on the starting line. That's my plan. And I don't lift till I see checkers. It's either checkers or wreckers. That's the way we run. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the racing this weekend. It's always a great time running indoors there at the Coliseum. And freestyle, man. Freestyle is my favorite. I get to go out there and do whatever I want, maybe cut some killer Cyclone donuts, get some big air off the van stack, hopefully, and we're going to see what this little truck can do.
That's phenomenal. Well, who do you got to thank real quick before we get on to the Poland side of this event?
So, I mean, I got a couple sponsors for my truck team. Rebessa's Powertrain's been on board with us for a couple of years. They built some awesome transmission parts. None better in the world. Just, you know, we bash them hard. I'm 300 plus degrees when I come off that track, and them transmissions hold up for a whole entire season. And we got Goebel Fasteners, man. They're out there. They've been hooking us up with a lot of great fasteners for these trucks, keeping them together. So, you know, without these great sponsors, we can't keep these things going.
Yeah. JR, who do you got to thank?
I got to thank this dirt crew coming in. I'm going to tell you what, I think you guys may know Travis pretty well. I can tell you the planning going into this is just absolutely amazing. He has worked his tail off to really make sure that this is going to be a special event. And just his hard work going into it has made us work really hard to try to make sure both events are going to be stellar events. So got to thank all my crew and all my guys, and we're ready for a fun weekend with the fans.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we hope that you guys go out there, kick some butt. I know you will. And, well, I think it'll be pretty entertaining either which way. So thank you guys for coming on, and best of luck to you this weekend.
Thank you,
fellas.
There we go.
That's it, man.
Back to here. So now we're getting ready. We're going back to what we know, back to what we love, the good old side of truck and tractor pulling. We're going to bring on the now celebrity that's been here the past 3 or 4 weeks with us, Mr. Russ Yoder, driver of the Xtra Butter Pro Stock, here to tell us a little bit about his brainchild of what's evolved itself into mechanical mayhem going on here in Fort Wayne. And he's bringing along one of our good friends, Chad Mayhill, here to talk a little bit of smack against the rest of the two-wheel drive truck pullers, and here to tell us what it means to run at this event. So let's get them bringing on. Well, howdy, guys. How's it going?
Good evening.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, it's going good.
That's pretty good. So we're now T-minus 4 days from the time that the hook drops there in Fort Wayne. What's the state of the union? How are we looking?
Well, I think everything's under control. Hopefully the weather cooperates for us the next few days. It's supposed to have some rain coming in, but hopefully it won't be too bad for us. In a couple days, Wednesday morning, we're going to start moving dirt in first thing in the morning, and hopefully by Wednesday night we have a pulling track and a monster truck track as well in the Coliseum. So,
Chad, how's your preparations going for this event?
Actually, loaded everything in the wagon over the weekend and ready to go.
So, how many vehicles are we going to see you bringing out here?
We'll just have the 2 Timin machine there.
Who gets to drive?
I do.
Oh.
Is that Kyler over in the side there?
Yeah, he's my computer genius. So
I see Kyler just itching to get back into the seat. Because I know that if you guys were bringing both trucks out, we were gonna make a bet tonight on who's gonna win, and someone's gonna be doing a few more push-ups than they're used to on the daily.
Right.
Yeah. We'll let him ponder on that for a few more months before he gets to run again. So
he lost his driving privileges because he beat Dad too much.
Yeah, it's all right. Makes us better.
That's funny. That's awesome.
That's right.
Well, Russ, what have we done this week to get prepared for the event here in Fort Wayne?
We've just tried to wrap up all the little details. Mike Ott and Travis and I have all had a couple of phone conversations and just trying to make sure everyone's on the same page going into this week. And we'll meet down there probably not until Wednesday morning. Then we'll start going over everything on site. So just trying to get everything in order, make sure we're all on the same page and getting ready for the show.
Let's talk about, for those that haven't been here with us the past couple weeks, what we're going to see here in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, so region classes are going to be the 3.0 diesel trucks. We're going to have 6 of those. We're going to have 6 hot farms, and we're going to have 11 or 12 light pro stocks. And then Grand National wise, we'll have the pro stocks, the mini rods, and the 2-wheel drive trucks.
Sweet.
Yeah. How long have you guys been working on getting this all planned?
Oh boy, it's been a long road. It seems like I'm going to say probably 7 or 8 months ago, we really kind of started with it, and we started having meetings with the Coliseum last fall, and just kind of got everything together with NTPA and the Coliseum and each other, and we just decided to go ahead and go for it. So we're going to try it out, see how it goes.
That's super, super cool. Yeah, it's going to be a great event. You guys have done all the right preparations to get ready for it. Question for you here, Chad. I mean, we see you're coming off of your performance there in Louisville. How are you going to take the momentum that you got there in the indoor side and continue it on here in the Fort Wayne?
Hopefully just, Friday night had a pretty exceptional night there. Drove right, done what I needed to. Saturday night I kind of drove bad. Kind of hooked it too hard and got on the wheelie bars. That ain't gonna win you a hook. But I just try to do our thing and be smooth about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're pulling indoors, but we're going completely differently because now we're pulling on a track that's getting closer to outdoor links. Are you going back to more of an outdoor setup, or are we staying with more of a Freedom Hall setup?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll be, closer to the outdoor stuff. It's going to be a little bit different case scenario because it's not going to be an Ironman sled behind you or a Bungart, which we're really normal to or accustomed to. The sled that's coming, we used to run it a lot when Dave Heger had it running a lot of PPL stuff. So we kind of got a feel for it.
Did we lose him?
We might have lost him. Well,
there he is.
Now he's back. So we lost you there when you were talking about the difference in sleds and what we're seeing from the normal.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's when you have an Ironman sled or a Brandon Bungart show up, I think we run them daily, so we know what to do with them to where, the sled that's coming is an old Heger sled, which we pulled it a lot on PPL back in the mid 15s to 20, and then before COVID pretty much. And then Allison's had bought it, and we haven't seen it in 5 or 6 years, but we got a pretty good data log on what we've done before. So,
yeah. Well, I've got some of the competitors list pulled up here. So let's kind of, while we got it, we can run through the competitor lists and see who's all kind of going to be here this weekend. So we'll get her kicked off here with the 2-wheel drive trucks. Looking at this list here, Chad, who are we concerned about?
Oh, they're all hard hitters. I mean, it's draw is probably one of the biggest ones that you got to be concerned with, I think. The numbers win more than anything with, and add the luck to it. So yeah, it's any one of them can win at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about that class. That class is so stacked full of just heavy hitters. It's hard to pick one.
So moving on into your diesel trucks, good group of guys coming from all over the Midwest, along with your tractors here. And then the class that I'm most looking forward to here is we get to see the minis make a return back indoors. They got some good vehicles gunning down the chute here. Not the usual guys that we'll usually see. I know a lot of them are getting prepared for a long, call it speed week or two down here in Florida, getting prepared to get their Grand National season kicked off. So that's your group of minis that we can expect to see. And then the group of pro stocks. Russ, what went into finding all these different vehicles?
Well, some of them were just friends of mine in the past or currently. Some of them were guys that were actually had a tractor ready to go. We found out there's quite a few guys that were either taking a break for a little bit or had their stuff being worked on or getting a new motor coming or different things like that. So we weren't necessarily getting the top 5 on each class, but we were getting a competitive group of guys. And I mean, we should have really good competitive classes in all of them. I think it's going to be a really good night of competition.
Yeah, that's super cool. I know we were beating dead horse with this, but let's talk a little bit about what we can expect from the fan side on pits, admission, stuff like that.
Yeah, so every ticket you get a free pit pass with it. I mean, it includes the pits, which will be downstairs. Most of the vehicles will be stored downstairs under the arena, and they can go into that like 2 hours before before the pull starts, and get up close to the vehicles and talk to the drivers and stuff like that. There is assigned seats there. They're like individual plastic seats. So it is, if you have reserved seats, you get to sit in those and don't have to worry about, getting a good seat or anything. I think we have roughly 4,000 seats in there. I think every seat in there will be a pretty good seat actually. So, be very good, visual for everybody, and you can walk around in the pits, and should be a pretty good time for the pulling fans.
Now, did we get the popcorn situation worked out? I know that's kind of your main business here.
Well, not necessarily. They ended up not wanting us to do any popped popcorn in the venue so they could sell it at their concession stand. But we are going to be giving out some microwave popcorn to take home, and they can try our microwave popcorn at home.
Well, when you got to just kind of make the best of these alternatives, there's a lot that goes into putting an indoor event on. Tell us a little bit about, stuff that the average fan doesn't see that goes on behind the scenes. Maybe.
This is the ticket link, by the way.
Other side there, Jason.
While we're waiting on Russ.
Well, so what's new with Chad for the 2025 or 2026 season now? Any big changes you've made over the off season? Anything new that we're trying out?
Not a whole lot. Kind of wanting to try to put 3-in-1 trailer and go pulling, I guess. Put Kyler in one, and I'll run another 2 for Jesse, and hopefully have a good enough crew that we can handle that and keep everything rolling. So
it's definitely going to be a big season. I mean, we saw you out. You'll be with us there on the high stakes series. What are you looking forward on that?
I think it's going to be a pretty good deal. I mean, for the most part of I've been to two of the five tracks. No, actually 3 of the 5 tracks. Been to Benson, Simons, Dillon, and we pulled Ohio State one year at Dragway 42. So, there's only 2 locations that we've never not been to, I guess to say.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be the deal with a lot of these guys is some of us have been to all of them. Some of us have been to none of them. So I think it'll be a fun deal nevertheless. But now we got Russ back. So Russ, can tell us a little bit more about what kind of goes on behind the scenes with putting the indoor truck and tractor pull on?
I think what people don't realize the most is just all the logistics of getting all the equipment moved in there and the dirt moved in and out and everything it takes to get an indoor pull done. Compared to an outdoor pull, it just feels like there's 10 times more things to get done. And being about an hour away from our place, Travis and I's, we live pretty close together. Travis is the guy who's putting in the dirt there. It's about an hour for us to get there. So there's a lot of driving back and forth, and he's been moving a lot of equipment back and forth. And just to get, we have a couple of different sponsors like John Deere. They're bringing in a whole bunch of tractors for tow tractors and things like that. It's a lot of hauling around things and a lot of moving parts. So,
yeah.
So sure. You're running the whole event, and then you've got your own vehicle on top of it. Are you still going to be piloting it, or are you going to have a spare driver step in to make a couple hooks for you?
Well, I'm in a kind of a conundrum this weekend too, because I'm a basketball coach at a varsity level. And so our tournament starts this weekend and my son's also on the team. So Friday and Saturday, we both play. Friday, I'm probably going to skip out of the basketball game, be there at the pool all day and drive Xtra butter. On Saturday, I've already got a couple guys in the back, just in case I don't make it back in time. So Saturday night, I may not be there the whole time. I'm going to be there before and after, but part of it, I might not be there. And I'm not sure if I'll be able to drive or not that night. But if it wasn't championship Saturday, I would have been there. But it's kind of hard to miss our team competing in basketball as well. So
that's just a big part. And I know Chad is right there with you on bringing your children up, being there for them. I mean, that's something special that you got to do. I mean, tractor pulling is a family sport, and there's got to be people to come in behind the Hall of Famers. So it's definitely something that's got to be done. So
my biggest disappointment with the weekend that was open at the Coliseum was I knew it was going to be our first round of tournament in Indiana. And so I'm going to try and do some of both is probably my plan right now.
That's super cool. So what's gone into putting the pulling track in there? And we joked about it a little bit a couple minutes ago. Are we putting a big old jump halfway down the track for the monster truck guys and just happen to hit it on a pulling tractor?
So actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, JR is not going to do any jumps in there this time. I don't believe. And so we won't have to level those out or do anything with them or move them or anything. I think he's doing our pulling track. I don't think we'll have to do too much in between monster truck and pulling tracks. So I think it won't be a whole lot of time in between there to do anything with it. So
yeah, from what he said, it sounded like he was going to put some hills on the sides or something.
Correct. Yeah. But on the pulling track, I don't think we're going to have to do too much.
Yeah. Cool. That just makes turnover easy, and building a pulling track, I mean, it's difficult to get right with the dirt and all that. We see different promoters work for weeks in advance to try to prepare a track for a Grand National event. So just to flop around from a monster truck event a couple days or a couple hours prior is a big undertaking.
And hopefully Travis and I has quite a bit of experience with the mech. We used to put in 2 tracks a year up there, one for the January pull for Clint Tucker, and then one for the NTPA pull in March. So we have put in, I would imagine, 8 or 10 indoor tracks up there. So hopefully it is a little bit different dirt, but pretty close to the same. So hopefully with that experience and everything that we can get it at least pretty close to where we want it this first year and see what it looks like. So.
Chad, what are you most looking forward to this weekend in Fort Wayne?
It's an honor that Russ had reached out to me about being the promoter choice. Went to it several years when it was an ATPA deal back there in the early 2000s. I remember the last year, I guess, was 05 when it snowed about 10 inches Friday night and had everybody buried in there. But yeah, it's been to several concerts up there over the years and the polls also.
So how far?
Yeah, I think I've actually done. I was going to say, I think I've done a bunch of concerts there too.
Yeah. When are you getting there? How far of a drive you got to go?
It's right about 100 miles. I'll be in there sometime Thursday morning. Try to get in so we can get pitted before they shut everything off.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, good group of guys, wide array of vehicles coming in. So it's going to be a good show.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
Russ, anything you're looking most forward to?
Just, I don't know, just trying to operate it and get everything working smoothly, see how fast we can get the vehicles up and down the track. We want to run a smooth show and keep the fans, having something to watch all the time. So we don't want a lot of dead time. And so it's just kind of that challenge of making a good running show is what I'm looking forward to.
Is there anything in particular you want pullers to know coming in? Anything changing or anything you want fans to know before they get here come Friday evening?
Yeah, not really. We're going to have it, at the driver's meeting, we'll just make sure everyone's, ready to go when they're going to be the next ones up. And I think Marvin's going to put them in with the telehandler, each one. So I know in the past at Shipshewana, we got them moving pretty quickly once our track crew really got in the groove and stuff. And so we're hoping, every, 4 minutes or so, we're running another vehicle. So there's not a lot of downtime in between.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Well, we have the rest of the time tonight if you want to talk about anything. And I know you guys both have very busy lives, so we can talk for as long as you guys would like to on anything that you'd want to promote or let people know about the event getting ready here in Fort Wayne.
The only thing I would say is just bring as many friends and family as you can, because the best way for us to continue to do this is by, getting some seats sold and bringing in some money, because it does cost quite a bit of money to do everything. And we do have a few sponsors that we're going to thank once we get there, and we'll have some banners and stuff like that for them as well. But bring as many people as you can. The weather's going to be pretty warm. It looks like this weekend is going to be in the 60s. Might be some chances of rain, but you can't say it's going to snow 10 inches like Chad was talking about a few years back. So that was one of our concerns, that, what if we have a March snowstorm? How's that going to impact everything? And this year it's not going to be that way. So hopefully it'll be nice and everyone can come out and enjoy the show.
Yeah, that's awesome. Buy more popcorn. Russ needs more horsepower. Those voices have really put the fire to him over the past few days. I know we talked a little bit about it last week. You mentioned there that there might be a couple special guests coming in.
Man, Jeff got his tractor started up. He posted a video. Is he coming?
Yeah, as far as I know, Jeff Hurt's coming, at least going to do at least one night, maybe two. I'm not sure. Kent Payne's coming with Super Rooster. I believe Les Corporal's coming with his 2-engine light mod at least one night. And I don't know. I haven't heard lately if Class Act and the Semi is coming or not. I don't know if anybody else knows that or not.
So that's definitely going to be interesting. I mean, we see there in Florida that some of these guys get a couple test hooks, but as with anything in Poland, there's no practice in it. So they're definitely going to have to bring their A game, all of these guys. Any other things that we come to expect, need to know? I mean, we talked about buy your tickets in advance, they're, what is it, $5 cheaper that way?
I don't actually know the discount that. I do know
don't-
the starting line right now. Recently they put a sale on some of the starting line tickets. I think they're down to $20. But you'll have to look that up yourself. I don't know exactly. I think Mike Ott was telling me that a little bit, that they were doing some discounts on starting line seats. But I would just say get there early. I know there's some other things going on. I think Disney on Ice is there that same night. So there's going to be a lot of people in the parking lot. So get there early to get a parking spot. If not, you have to walk a little ways, but that shouldn't, don't not come just because you might have to walk a little bit. So should be a good night. It's warm enough. It just might rain a little bit or something, but at least it's going to be 60 some degrees to walk in.
Yeah. It won't be a bitter cold March snowstorm.
Correct. Yep.
Well, Jason, that's kind of all I got. What do you got? I know you're big with the whole Mayhill and Petro group. What do you got for Chad? Chad's been pretty quiet.
I can't hit him too hard. I can't go too rough on him. He pretty much said what I was going to ask. I'm just excited to be there and see all these guys, man. It's fun to see these guys, especially in this environment indoors.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be super cool. Bringing an event back from the past. I was going through watching some old videos of it, and it was an entertaining event back in the day, and it's not going to be anything short of that here this coming weekend. What time the gates open, and what time does the show get kicked off both nights?
Well, it starts at 7. I think they were talking about opening the gates 2 hours before that. So roughly 5 o'clock-ish is when they're going to open. So it'll be a few hours before showtime. And we want to start right at 7 o'clock, if not a minute early, and get a good start to it. So we're not going all night long, because we'll probably have, I think, roughly 55 hooks that night. So it's going to be, 4-5 hours of good pulling action. So.
Yeah. That's very good. Well, don't miss it, the Memorial Coliseum there in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Chad, you got anything else for us? Any wise words of advice?
Not a whole lot.
Kyler, you gonna steal a spot one day?
Hopefully. Yeah, if we wasn't doing a few changes on blue, we probably would have brought it, but Two-Timing was ready from the farm show, so it was run the valves, check the filter, and put her back in the wagon.
Well, never forget, Kyler, you have a mini rod spot waiting for you. You'd make a heck of a driver. But no, excited to see you guys out here this weekend. It's going to definitely be a blast.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
As for that, that's all I've got, Russ. Jason, you got anything else?
No, make sure you check it out if you can't make it, or if you're way out of town, make sure you check it out on Full Pull Live. We're going to be streaming the whole deal.
Awesome. Well, let's roll a little promotional video, and we will call it a night.
That'll work.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you, Russ and Chad, for your time. We know you're busy men. And there we go. A little bit shorter of a stream tonight. We can talk about Doug a little bit while he's sitting in his super professional business meeting right now while he's on the beach down there in Florida.
That's right. He wasn't able to make it to do his Southern Swing promo.
Enjoying his time down there in Florida. I bet it's got to be pretty good weather down there this time of night.
I would imagine. Yeah, it's got to be decent, right?
It's got to be decent. Well, what are we looking for next week on the Let's Grow Pulling podcast?
Well, we haven't made a whole huge plan yet. I know we've got, I think it's going to be a couple weeks out yet. We're going to start some micro mini stuff. There's another micro mini event coming up in northern Minnesota. And I know we're covering that. So we're going to have those guys on, but I believe that's a couple weeks out from next week. I don't think that's next week. I think it's a couple weeks out.
We're looking, I believe we're looking at that around the 21st is where.
Yeah. So it would be the Monday prior to that.
Correct. So we got one more week. Hopefully we'll get a chat and catch up a little bit with some events that go on this weekend there in Fort Wayne. Talk about
that's right.
Getting the Southern Swing kicked off. I know there's a lot of Grand National competitors heading down that way. So
for sure.
It will definitely be a busy week. Pulling's already getting kicked off and we're not even 2 days into March.
Right. For everybody that is still watching and is interested or is going to Florida, I swapped the QR code out. So the QR code that's up there now is the tickets for the Southern Swing events. So if you are planning on going, you can get your tickets up there. And you can click on or scan that guy.
Yeah. So I think in Doug's memory, we're going to roll some Southern Swing videos and we will call it a good night, and we'll catch you right back here 7 Central, 8 o'clock real time. Dan Mayer's time, as I like to call it around here.
Right.
Randy's time, even though he can't remember what time it is.
Right.
Hopefully we'll be back in full force next week and we will catch you then. But until then, be safe. And life's too short to be upset with each other. So go enjoy your time and go pulling. Have a good one, guys.
Grand National Championship level pulling is back in Florida. 2 events, 2 weekends, 1 historic kickoff. Watch the 2026 NTPA Grand National Southern Swing Pulling on Full Pull Live. For the first time since 1979, Grand National Championship level pulling is back in Florida. 2 events, back-to-back weekends, 1 historic kickoff. It's the 2026 NTPA Grand National Southern Swing. Be there in person to feel the action, or stream it straight from your living room on Full Pull Live.
For the first time since 1979, championship-level Grand National Pulling is back in Florida. 2 events, 2 weekends, 1 historic kickoff. Watch the 2026 NTPA Grand National Southern Swing.
Today. Let's talk about today.
Grand National state level, you have to run non-sale, it's wholesale.
Is like 9,000.
The only mistake I made, I didn't put it in the registration booth with the
just this ever-evolving story.